Okay, let's go.
Okay. So I was going to do a video today on how to make sauerkraut. It's a super easy way to start fermenting. It can be added to sandwiches and soups and chilies and all sorts of things to get your probiotics in your gut, which of course, and I'm sure that you know, sauerkraut and fermented foods are going to populate your gut a lot easier than store-bought pills will with beneficial bacteria. So I have washed my cabbage and I've washed my hands. You need to start with clean hands so you don't grow anything gross in your jar. And I cut my cabbage in half, and then I just took my knife and took out the core. Okay, so that's how we're starting. And I took the first couple top leaves off. That's all I've done so far. So all this is salt and cabbage, believe it or not, and it sits on your countertop for 3 days. So we're just going to start chopping it, going across kind of thin. And usually I do a tablespoon of salt per medium head size of cabbage. This cabbage was huge, and I don't think I'm going to do the whole cabbage. So I'm just going to add it into my bowl right here as I'm chopping. And I use sea salt. That's what I like to use. So I'm going to add a little bit to it and let it start to sweat. Let that salt start to work, and let it start to have those juices come out of the cabbage. Because I do not make a brine. I let my cabbage make its own brine. I beat the snot out of it till it makes a brine. Now those I kind of cut kind of thick. These I like a little bit better, like that size. Oh yeah, so add that to it. And I'm chopping pretty much any which direction I want to. You're alright. I have used a food processor, but it was just not beneficial. It did not work out well. I think it's better just to chop it and just to suck it up and do it. So I'm going to finish that off a little bit. Again, let that start to sweat. A lot of times I'll cut my cabbage, put some salt on it, go start a little laundry, come back, beat it up a little bit, beat the cabbage up, go do something else, come back. And while I'm working on Emerson, while I'm working on what I'm doing, all those juices are coming out. I mean, what, honey? Now, I got this for like $1 at a garage sale, which was a really awesome find. And I use this a lot. Before I had this, I would literally just get in there and crunch it up. That's all you're gonna do, is crunch up that sauerkraut. You want to release the juices. The salt is gonna help sweat the cabbage and have the juices in the water release, out of the cabbage. And it's also going to protect from different microbes and bacteria that could grow in your jar. Should get a bigger bowl out, I guess. Go see Dada. So this takes usually about 10 minutes from start to finish. Well, at least 10 minutes of beating, so maybe 13, 14 minutes to make some sauerkraut. It's really easy to do. So I'm going to beat this for a little bit, and then we'll come back. So I've been beating it for just a little bit here now on my cabbage, and smacking it down in the bowl. And it's starting to release the brine. If I can get it to where, I don't know if I can maybe get a good shot, but it is starting to release the brine. You can see that the cabbage is starting to break down a little bit. If you taste it, which you probably should, and I do as I'm making it, I'll take a taste. You want it to be a little bit you want it to be salty. Oops, not crazy salty, but a little salty, you know, to where you wouldn't want to eat it like that. It's going to help protect it, but also that salt flavor is going to die down as you as your sauerkraut ferments in the jar on the countertop. So it's not going to taste, it's not going to be really nasty salty as it goes. And once again, if you don't have something like this, don't go out and get anything. Like, just use your hands and punch it down a little bit. You can punch it and you can break it up just like that. That's what I did for years. It worked just fine. And then I'd wash my hands, let it sit for a minute, go do a little laundry, wash my hands, come back, wring it out again, and keep. That's all I did. It doesn't take long. It really, if you let it sit by itself for a while without salt on it, it's amazing at how that salt makes it sweat. Okay, I'm going to keep going and I will be back. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it here, but there is a nice little puddle of juice. You can definitely hear it. Right in the middle there of the sauerkraut. I've been pounding, getting it beat down for a while, and so it has broken down and I am ready to put it into my jar. I have a clean quart-sized jar and a clean lid. So I'm gonna put the camera up and see if I can come over here and do it. Okay, so this will work. And I might bring it up here. Okay. So I washed my hands again. Make sure that your hands are clean. I'm not a big germaphobe, but you don't want to grow anything nasty, McNasty in your sauerkraut. And you can see the juice dripping, right? I mean, if I pick it up and squeeze it. So that's what you want, that nice briny juice. And we're just gonna pack it in a jar. Make sure we get all that precious brine that we need. This is so easy to do. If you do have Crohn's or a lot of gut problems that you're trying to take care of, you know, you might start out, like if you're working GAPS diet, they have you start out just taking some of the juice and not eating the sauerkraut, just because the cabbage is so rough on the stomach at first. Sorry. I know. Let's see if I can finish that. Pour that into there. Okay. So you can always start, especially if it's your kids, you're trying to get them their gut healthy. You can start just giving them the juice, the brine, and that would be all this liquid in here, of course. It's usually about a teaspoon a day to start off with. I think that's what Dr. McBride recommends on GAPS diet. And so that is pretty much it. You want to make sure that everything is covered by the juice. If there's any, you know, if there's strange pieces of cabbage up on the side like that, these are going to be exposed to air, and so they're going to grow the McNasties that you don't want. So you want to make sure that all of the pieces are pushed down under the liquid and are not floating up. And this will sit on the counter for 3 days. I usually put a little, stick it like a little post-it note on it saying what day I made it, because I'll always forget. I can never remember. So today's Saturday, so I'll write a little note that says Saturday. And by Tuesday, it'll be ready to go into the fridge. Go directly into the fridge, and you'll be ready to eat it on Tuesday.